In this video, we are going to discuss the important skills for effective interpersonal communication. Firstly, we are going to begin with eye messaging. Eye messaging is the most important skill required for effective interpersonal communication. An eye message expresses a person's beliefs, feelings, or thoughts about a person or a situation without hurting their feelings or blaming others. As the name suggests, an I message begins with an I statement, describes the behavior and describes concerns regarding that behavior, and lastly, it suggests what could be done in future. This technique can be used when communicating your thoughts and feelings in personal and professional relationships. As a registered early childhood educator, this technique can be used to build responsive relationships with kids and their families. It helps create a positive learning environment. Some of its advantages are that it helps in encouraging positive and clear communication, conflict resolution, and creating self awareness through feelings of expression. However, its disadvantages are that it might not be effective in situations where a person is angry or upset and they are not open to listening or expressing their feelings, and also its overusage can lead to self-assertiveness. In the following video, I have demonstrated the eye messaging technique relating to the case study number 3, the communication and collaboration scenario, where Barbara expresses her concerns to her supervisor using the eye messaging technique. I feel concerned when you did not clarify your reasons for not calling me for the next week, because I cannot understand that what did I miss out or what did I do wrong while being in the position of a supply staff. Active listening is a communication skill that involves fully concentrating, understanding, and responding to the speaker. It is about actively processing and seeking to understand the meaning and intent behind the speaker's words. It requires being mindfully present, being able to focus on what the speaker is trying to say, and staying focused and participating in the conversation. Active listening is important to build all types of healthy relationships and find solutions when addressing a problem. Hence, I could use this skill when actively listening and participating in conversation with kids, their families, and my colleagues as an ECE. This skill helps make communication easier and keeps you engaged with your conversation partner in a positive way. It makes the other person feel valued and heard. Eventually, it shows respect for the other person's needs and concerns, as the active listener actively participates and listens and demonstrates that their ideas matter to them.
I am sorry that you felt concerned when I did not respond to your concerns, but my reason for not calling you for the rest of the week was that I felt that you were not responsible enough to your role as an educator.
Okay, but why did you feel so?
Okay, so the reason is,
If you don't mind, can I take notes?
sure. So firstly, you failed to mark the attendance of a child that was already gone, which your colleague noticed and told us. And secondly, you were not able to answer the questions of the parents.
In the previous video, various active learning skills were demonstrated as Barbara indulges in a conversation with her supervisor, which includes displaying understanding through nodding, sitting at the same level, maintaining eye contact, remaining silent while the other person speaks, open body language, right expressions, asking to take notes, and lastly, participating in the conversation. In the given video, I demonstrated paraphrasing as Barbara when communicating and understanding the supervisor's concerns. So, from what I understand, you feel that I was not able to conduct my duties responsibly because I did not answer to the parents' questions and I could not attend to the children, and that is why you feel that I was not true to my role, or I did not qualify for the educator's role responsibly.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Paraphrasing involves restating what the other person said in your own words without changing the meaning or tone of the sentence. It helps pay attention to detail, verify what the other person meant to say, and identify misunderstandings if any. In the given video, I demonstrated negotiating and compromising between Barbara and the supervisor.
I'm sorry if it felt that I was not responsible enough. However, I did not answer to the parents' questions because I was new in this program and I was not introduced to the details, and I did not want to convey any wrong details in the absence of my colleague. And if given a responsibility the next time and the chance, then I would make sure that I attend to the details and this might not happen again.
Well, that is what I expect, and I will make sure you get the support that you need next time.
Well, that's kind on your behalf, but the next time that I'm called in to fill up, I expect that you provide me with a prior day training and the debrief of the program details so that I can conduct my duties responsibly.
Okay, Barbara, I will make sure next time you get all the required support.
Thank you.
When there is a dispute between two parties, it requires them to negotiate and give up some of their demands, eventually leading them to compromise and come to a mutual agreement. This technique of negotiating and compromising helps encourage adaptability, maintain positivity in relationships, reduce tension, and help and respect each other's views. As a part of the Humber community, it becomes our responsibility to maintain effective interpersonal communication in order to follow the Student Code of Community Standards. As per the Student Code of Community Standards, all community members have the responsibility to report incidents where there may be a risk of harm or an impact to the dignity of any community member. This involves speech that constitutes harassment, threats, or hate speech. Such a situation requires use of effective interpersonal communication skills where to prevent any kind of emotional harm and impact on dignity that might be happening to the person who is facing the harassment or hate speech. Also, the use of effective interpersonal communication needs to be exercised when reporting such incidents or events to the college authorities. Another instance where we can practice effective interpersonal communication is when the community members at Humber are following their responsibility of taking reasonable steps to prevent a problem situation from occurring or to de escalate a problem situation. As a student, we can practice being caring and compassionate and negotiating and compromising where possible to help prevent the situation from occurring, and at a later stage to help de escalate the problem situation. As a part of the early childhood education community, it becomes our integral responsibility to practice interpersonal communication effectively in order to work collaboratively with various stakeholders involved in this setting, which include children primarily their families, other educators and assistants, our colleagues, supervisors, policymakers, and so on. One of the professional standards that informs about interpersonal communication skills, as outlined in the Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice, is communicating with the families inclusively and responsibly towards their diversities, being receptive listeners, and providing encouragement and support by addressing their ideas and listening to their concerns and needs actively and responsibly through the children and the families. This involves use of interpersonal communication skills such as active listening, having an open mind towards difference in opinions, and building responsive relationships. Another professional standard within the Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice, which displays interpersonal communication skills on behalf of the RECEs, is supporting, encouraging, and working collaboratively with colleagues, which displays skills such as commitment to collaboration. Such behavior would highlight our practice and understanding of effective interpersonal communication as a registered early childhood educator.